So if you're a complete beginner and you want to get into wireframing and stuff like that in Figma, UX design, the simplest and easiest possible way to understand and to start using it, just go ahead and Google Figma wireframe and you'll land on this first page. This basically. Figma gives you a template like this. It basically pre-made elements for you to be able to just start wireframing without having to do anything from scratch. Okay. Okay. The whole point of wireframing, so usually the UX designer does wireframe, is that so you can know exactly where and in what order the elements will appear on the page. Okay. The UI designer gets the wireframes and then he will work on the colors, the fonts, and make it look appealing, but the structure will basically look the same. The menu will be exactly like this. In this position, it's going to be full width. There's going to be a button right here, right? There's going to be 4 items, features right here, quote, and then stuff like this. Yeah, so like I said, the easiest way, just use this pre-made wireframe kit, and then just go ahead, make a copy, right? Delete everything. You can also use this pre-made layout grid. So if you click on your frame, you go to layout grid right here on the right side. If you go from grid to columns, and then you make it 12 columns, 70 pixels width, and gutter 30. Gutter is basically the space between them, and width is the width of these red columns basically. So if you measure the full width of your design, I think it's 1180, I think, if it's aligned properly. Yeah, it should be about that. So the point is, none of your design elements should go over this grid basically, unless it's like background image like these, they can go. But if you take a look at any elements in these examples, none of them go over that specific grid. And also, like this whole design, like this section is split into 2 subsections. If you take a look, they're all centered, like it splits in half right here from top to bottom. So the point is, when you design stuff, you gotta keep things in these grids. Okay, you can have like 2 columns, right? You can have them like this, or 3 columns, but 4 columns. If you want to have it on center right here, that's okay. But you don't make them 476 pixels, like random pixel sizes, because the developer won't be able to use it, because they work with grids and columns and stuff like that. So they need to be able to have the actual elements split into that. You need to take into account these grids. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain. So yeah, anyway, assuming you want to start fresh, right? You have this menu, copy paste it. This is a component. You gotta find the original one. You can play around with it if you want to, or you can build your own, right? It's just text, basically, just add text. Let's just take it out of the component and try to make some changes. Let's say you don't want it to be full width, okay? We'll just build our own stuff, right? You want it to be inside this actual grid, something like this. Let's assume it's centered. Probably not, but whatever. So you want your UI designer to design your menu inside this grid, not outside like the initial design. So that's how you do it. That's how you show the UI designer exactly where you want the menu to be. Then let's just take the same thing, but instead of center, we want it to be aligned on the left side. Okay, that's how you basically tell the designer that you want your hero section to look like, basically. This is the center. We're probably gonna go up to this point. Right, now we want an image on the right side. Let's take an image. Okay, this is an image, I guess. Let's just copy it. Yeah, we didn't copy the whole thing. Let's just copy this. Okay. Oh, we were supposed to flatten it. Detach instance on group. Okay, so now we have a placeholder image. We're basically trying to tell the UI designer that we want an image on the right side. This is the center, right? Let's just align it exactly up to this point. So it goes from left, the edge of the grid, up until the center of the page, and there's a bit of spacing. And then we're gonna align this thing vertically with our image. Basically, it should be on the center of the image. Okay, so this is basically how the process is gonna work, the whole wireframing stuff. So yeah, you go and do the same exact thing with the rest of the page. You will have 4 features. You just go ahead and create 4 features. You put them right here. Right. If you want them to be placed differently, if you want more space here, you just move them lower, right? That's the whole process. This is what wireframing is and how you do it. Again, these are pre-made components. They don't have to look exactly like this, but for example, if it's an image, your shape should help your UI designer understand that this is not an actual, I don't know, text. Okay, it's an actual image. So the way Figma decided they want to show that was by using these elements. For example, these are also supposed to be images or something like that, features, maybe an illustration, right? So it's suggestive, okay? It helps the designer understand exactly what should be there. There's no image here, for example, see, because there's no suggestion that it's supposed to be one there, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway, I don't know what I just copied, but this is text, right? Header. This is link, button, see more. So you continue with the rest of the page, content, whatever you need, basically whatever you want to have on that page. And once you're done, you just give this wireframe to your designer, and then he's going to polish this structure, add fonts, colors, illustrations, make it match, make it look good, and you will end up with a website that looks like this. It's polished, it has colors, it's beautiful, right? Anyway, so this is the easiest way you can get started with wireframing. I hope it makes sense, and I hope you understand what I try to explain. Understood, I guess. So yeah, again, this is an example of a design. It doesn't have to look like this. Whatever type of colors, and so you don't have to use really colors, but you obviously can play with shades of black and white, right? This is gray, this is completely black. The point is, it needs to be easy for your UI designer to understand what exactly should be placed in that specific place and in that layer. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, in really short, this is basically what wireframing is, and this is how you create wireframes in Figma. So that's pretty much it.